Good morning, everybody. My name is Dipti, and today I'm going to teach you about a new chapter named as cell. Now, who all are we? Who am I? Who are you? We all are organisms, right? So, me, you, everything around us, plants, all the living things, we are called as organisms. We are all are organisms. What are we made up of? Can you answer? What are we made up of? Yes. What are we made up of? Yes, we have digestive system, respiratory system, excretory system, right? So plants also have their own systems. Animals have systems, right? So we all are made up of organ system, right? Now tell me, what are the organ system made up of? They are made up of very good. They are made up of organs. And then in turn, what is organ made up of? They're made up of different types of tissue, right? Like nervous systems have got neurons, right? Our cardiac system has got different types of tissues, right? Our hands have got different type of tissue. Our skin has got different types of tissue. So it's made up of tissues. And what is in term tissue made up of? It's made up of cell. Very good. Tissues are made up of cell. So coming down from organism that we are to cell, we can say that cell is the smallest unit of life. A cell is the smallest structural and functional unit of life. Why structural and why functional? Because cell is the basic building block. Our body is nothing but composed of trillions of cells. And this gives a structure to all living organisms. Yes, whatever structure we have, whatever structure is what is provided by our body, it is given by cell. So cell provides the basic structure of our body. It takes nutrient from the food we eat. It carries out important functions in that, right? It protects us, it doesn't allow everything to enter in our body. So it gives us a structure. Now I said cell is a structural and functional unit of life. What is the meaning of function? Function meaning that cell contains number of organelles in it. It is a very tiny, it's very tiny inside, it's a microscopic. Uh, it is microscopic. In that cell, we have got different organelles, okay? And these organelles, they carry out very important function, such as protein synthesis, such as generating energy in our body. Yes, such as cell nucleus. This is the control room of the cell, which contains our DNA, it decides who we are. Okay, so in that term, with these organelles, what cell is having inside them, inside it, it controls the function of our body. Whatever function we are doing, it is because of it. So cell is a structural unit of life and functional unit of life. It gives us a structure and it does the basic function of our body. Okay, and everything is happening inside a cell. Now the cell can be two types. Okay, because living things are of two types. It is unicellular organism and multicellular organism, like prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Yes. So what is difference between multicellular and unicellular organism? Both are living things. As the name suggests, unicellular means one cell. Multicellular means many cells. So unicellular organism is made up of one cell. Multicellular organisms are made up of many cells. Yes. So in unicellular organism, for example, bacteria, amoebas, which is made up of one cell. So single cell perform all the work. Eating, reproducing, getting rid of waste. It is excretion, digestion, reproduction, all is done by one cell. Whereas we humans, animals, plants, we are multicellular, made up of more than one cell. We are made up of trillion cells. So each cell, now what happens in our life, different cells, specialized cells perform different function. Like our nerve cell is made up of neuron. That is a different type of cell. It performs the function of nervous system. Then we have cardiac cell for our heart. So it performs the function. We have skin cells, epithelial cells. They are different. So different part of body has got different types of cells in human, that is in living things, right? So different types of, here are a few different types of cells. Red blood cells, what is its function? Its function is to carry oxygenated blood. White blood cells, epithelial cells, which is present in our skin. Nerve cells, that is called as neuron. Then we have implants, we have the guard cells, which opens only for the function of transpiration, right? So there are different types of cells in living organisms. But each cell, the basic part of each cell is cell membrane, cytoplasm, and nucleus. Now, what is the cell membrane? Cell membrane, each cell is covered by a membranous structure. Okay, like for example, take a ball, and that ball is covered, is having an outer layer. So each cell is covered by a membrane-like structure that is called a cell membrane. It is semi-permeable in nature, doesn't allow everything to enter inside a cell. It's okay. Then we have cytoplasm. Okay, so now you think this is a cell. So the covering, the outer covering of this is cell membrane. The inside of the cell is called a cytoplasm. So cytoplasm is like a semi-fluid-like substance inside which all the organelles are embedded. Okay. And in the center of the cell, we have nucleus, which is the control room of the cell. Nucleus is very important because nucleus decide who we are. They contains DNA, our DNA chromosome. Yeah. So let us see each organelles in detail. So let us first see cell membrane. So can you see the picture over here of a cell membrane? Cell membrane is a very, very thin and delicate and flexible membrane which surrounds each cell. It is also called as plasma membrane also. In this membrane, there are tiny pores, okay, which allows the molecule to come inside the cell. But it is semi-permeable or selectively permeable. It doesn't allow everything to come inside the cell. So it protects the cell in that way, right? So if you see the photo over here, can you see the picture over here? So it is a cell membrane picture, right? Which has got some pores in it through which the thing can come inside, but only the things which is needed by the cell. It doesn't allow everything to enter into the cell. The next is cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is the living portion of the cell. As I told you earlier, it is semi-liquid, translucent and colorless, like a jelly it is. You can imagine cell to be a plate. The edges of the plate is cell membrane, and inside the plate it is jelly-like thing you have kept. And on that jelly you have kept cherries and fruits, and all those are like organelles. Okay, just to give you a picture to understand. Imagine a plate. The edge of the plate is cell membrane. It's a jelly-like things in the plate kept, that is semi-liquid, transparent, colorless is the cytoplasm. And there inside you have different organelles like cherries put in that. Okay, so cytoplasm. So all the basic functions, all the whatever is happening in the cytoplasm because all the organelles are embedded in cytoplasm. Now, there is a difference between protoplasm and cytoplasm. Cytoplasm, okay, as you may know, cytoplasm is the protoplasm enclosed by the plasma membrane of the cell. Protoplasm is the colorless material comprising the living part of cell, including cytoplasm, nucleus, and other organelles. So, protoplasm is nothing but cytoplasm plus the nucleus part is called as protoplasm. So ever anybody asks you the difference between what is cytoplasm and what is protoplasm, you should know. Okay. So cytoplasm is nothing but protoplasm enclosed by the plasma membrane. But In cytoplasm, we don't include the nucleus part. Nucleus, organelles, cytoplasm together becomes protoplasm. I hope the difference is clear. Then the last important part, nucleus. Nucleus is nothing but a spherical dark colored body, which is usually located in the center. You remember our plate? Center of the plate. And why it is very important? Because it is the control room of the cell. Yes, it regulates and coordinates various life processes. The cell division, when the cell has to divide, right? The cell division happens here. It contains the hereditary factor, yeah, in form of gene. So it is a very, very important part. Now, what is the structure of nucleus? Nucleus is round in shape. Okay, it has got outside membrane called as nuclear membrane. Yes, inside it has got nucleoplasm, which is nothing but protoplasm only. So nucleoplasm, in the center it has got a nucleolus. Okay, nucleolus, and it has got chromatin threads. The chromatin fibers or the chromatin thread is which in turn contains chromosome and the DNA factor. So this is how a nucleus looks like. It has got the chromatin thread. Okay, so nucleus is which stores DNA in our eukaryotic cells. Okay, and then in the DNA we have got chromosomes which carries our genetic factor. Inside our cell there are some parts which is living and some parts which is non-living part. So cell wall, which is only present in plant cell, is non-living, whereas cell membrane or a plasma membrane is living part. There are other organelles like endoplasmic reticulum, mitochondria, Golgi apparatus, lysosome, ribosome, centrosome, plastids, only in plant cell, they are living. And nucleus is definitely a living organism. The fat droplets, the vacuoles, and the granules are the non-living part. We will learn about each organelle in detail in the class to come. But for today's session, we have just learned, let us have a quick recap. Cell is the smallest structural and functional unit of life. Why structure? Because it gives structure to our body. Why functional? Because it performs various functions in our body, right? So it's a structural and functional unit of life. Cell has got three major parts: cytoplasm, cell membrane, and nucleus. Again, to recap, cell membrane is thin, delicate, semi-permeable membrane, which is selective permeable in nature, which allows a few things to come inside the body, and it is a living part of our body. Cytoplasm is semi-jelly-like, remember, fluid, transparent in color, semi-liquid in nature, in which all the organelles are embedded. And then we learned about nucleus, which is the control room of the cell, which helps in cell division and controls the various function of our body because it contains the DNA, that is the genetic factor in our body. We decide who we are, right? And nucleus has got various other parts that are nuclear membrane, nucleolus, chromatin thread, and nucleoplasm. We will learn about each thing in detail in class to come. But for today's class, it's only this much. Thank you. Have a good day. See you again. Bye-bye.